Title: I decided to support my wife. Every weekend, she went to her parents' house to help them and brought me home-cooked food. I wanted to surprise her, so I drove there with dinner. Start: I never thought I'd be the kind of man who needed proof. But trust isn't infinite, it has limits, edges you only see when you're standing on them. That night, I was halfway down the road, carrying dinner for two, smiling like a fool. My wife had told me she was at her parents' house, helping her mother, as she did every weekend. She always came back with home-cooked food, spices that smelled like comfort, warmth that tasted like loyalty. So I thought I'd surprise her. Turns out, the surprise was waiting for me. As I turned onto their quiet street, I saw her car parked outside the small house. The lights were low, curtains drawn, but one window upstairs was cracked open. Laughter drifted out, a man's laugh. At first, I told myself I was mistaken, maybe a cousin, maybe her brother. But then she stepped into the sliver of light, hair down, wearing that soft beige cardigan I bought her last winter. Her hand brushed across his chest. His hand followed her waist. My grip on the dinner bag tightened. I could hear my pulse in my ears. I stood there long enough to realize this wasn't a moment. It was a ritual, a routine disguised as love. When she kissed him, slow and familiar, I didn't shout, didn't break the door down. I just turned away. Quietly. Because rage is loud, revenge isn't. She'd been careful, I'll give her that. She used her parents as cover, told me her mother needed help with the garden, her father's health was fragile. And I believed her, because I wanted to. We'd been married 6 years, built a life together, savings, a house, 2 cars, no kids. She said we'd have them when things settled. I see now that things were never meant to settle. She was planning her escape, one lie at a time. I started noticing small things, the faint scent of cologne that wasn't mine, her sudden showers after every visit, her phone always face down. I didn't ask questions, I watched. The next weekend I followed her. Same routine, packed a small bag, kissed me goodbye, left before noon. I drove behind her, 2 cars back. She didn't go to her parents' place right away. She stopped at a small rental apartment on the edge of town. He was already waiting at the door. That's when I decided, if she wanted to live a double life, I'd let her, but I'd write the ending. Over the next month, I became methodical. Hidden cameras, GPS tracker, voice recorder under her car seat. Every conversation, every visit, every message, documented. I even spoke to her parents. Turns out she hadn't been to their house in weeks. I moved our finances quietly, transferred savings to a separate account under my name, changed the beneficiaries on my insurance, sold one of our joint investments without her knowing, and transferred the proceeds. Everything was legal. Everything was precise. Meanwhile, I played the part of the clueless husband. Dinners together, weekend plans, smiles that felt like knives pressed behind my lips. The more she lied, the calmer I became. That terrified her subconsciously. I could see it in her eyes. The guilt began to grow before she even knew why. The night before her birthday, I told her I had a surprise. Dinner reservations, a small gathering with close friends, and her parents invited too. She was radiant that evening, dressed in silver silk, glowing with the confidence of someone who believes she's untouchable. We arrived at the restaurant. Everyone was there. Her laughter echoed off the walls, until the waiter brought the projector. I stood up. Calmly, I said, "Happy birthday, love. You said you liked memories. I thought we'd relive some together." The screen flickered to life. First, her walking into that rental apartment, then the door closing, her laughter, her hands, him. Gasps around the table. Her mother's face turned white, her friend covered her mouth. My wife froze. The man beside her, the same one from the footage, was her colleague, seated right across the table with his wife. Chaos erupted. His wife slapped him. My wife tried to stand, trembling, whispering my name like it could save her. But I was already walking away. I'd arranged for the restaurant to charge everything to her card. Her birthday gift, after all. The next morning, she came home to find the locks changed. On the table outside the door, a manila folder. Inside, divorce papers, printed screenshots, financial records, and one letter. I wrote, "You taught me what loyalty costs. I just collected the payment." I never heard from her again directly. The divorce went through quietly. She didn't contest it. She lost her job after the HR department received the anonymous footage of her and her colleague in the company apartment. The company policy was clear: no inter-employee relationships during client stays. He lost his position too. His wife took everything in the settlement. A few months later, I drove past the same street. Her car was gone. The house had a for sale sign. Funny how quickly things fade once truth sets fire to them. I didn't feel joy, not really. Revenge isn't about happiness, it's about balance, and balance had been restored. Now, every weekend, I cook for myself. The house smells of peace, not pretense. The silence isn't heavy anymore, it's clean. Sometimes people ask me if I'd ever forgive her. I smile. Forgiveness is for the innocent. She was never that. She thought she could play me. She forgot. I don't play games. I end them.